and we are, wow, that was easy. We are live.
And we're
Hey,
live.
yeah, well, that came on really good. Hey everyone, welcome to SVT Time. It is Tuesday, August 4th, another SVT Time. A couple of notes, couple of housekeeping things to take care of here first, though. But before we get into that, this is episode 101. Episode, how do you say that? Episode number 101.
The 101st.
So you are the first of the next century of episodes, Ian. So thank you for joining us today, everybody. This is Eian McNeely. Obviously, Ian's been busy on tour with Sombr, but there's a whole bunch of other things that we want to talk about with Ian as well. But housekeeping things that we want to bring up. I want to say hi to Paul in the UK. Paul he chimes in every episode, but Dom is not with us today. Dom, and I think he said it was okay to mention this, but I'm going to say it anyways. They just had their second child on Sunday. So everybody, welcome. I don't have a name yet, and knowing my partner, Dom, he may not share the child's name with me just because he knows I'll blurt it out. But yeah, anyways, congratulations, Dom and Amy. And that's wonderful. So it's just me and Ian today, which I think that I think will be entertaining as it is. So Ian, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for, I know your schedule has been kind of crazy, so thank you for taking the time out to do this. Are you on a break right now? You got a little bit of a break in the action, or what's going on?
Yeah, we just got back from a couple shows. We did 2 nights at Red Rocks recently, which was incredible. It was my first time playing there. It was unreal. And then we had a set at Lollapalooza, and then we had a set at a festival in Montreal called Osheaga. I don't really know how to say it, but
okay.
It was a really incredible week. Really incredible week.
Yeah. You had good weather at Red Rock?
We did day one. Day one was fantastic. Day two, we had a weather delay.
Okay.
That was there was some storms happening, and so we had a little bit of a lightning delay, but only got pushed, I think, 30 minutes, and then it passed over, and we were able to jump right back in.
No rain, though, or anything on stage. I know sometimes, like Red Rock, you're kind of out in the open there, so
yeah. I've heard that it gets really bad over there, but we just had like a small spat of rain, and then we were able to get right back into it. And so we have an incredible team. They just threw plastic over everything, and smooth sailing.
That's so with the artists I work with, we did an outdoor show on Saturday, and that's the risk of doing an outdoor show. We ended up playing our first set, and it was sunny and beautiful out, and then by the second set it started getting dark, and next thing you know, I'm literally pulling cables out of puddles of water. And I was just thinking about this. It's like, man, when you're doing an outdoor show and the weather's good, it's like a religious experience, especially playing someplace like Red Rock. But when the weather's not good, it's just the opposite. It's like, oh no, this can be really bad.
How could this go any further wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've had a couple shows cancel on me due to lightning, and it's never fun because everyone's already there. You're at the sound check, and then just one bolt a little too close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at what happened with Noah Khan a few weeks ago with the New York show. He actually canceled the show because there was lightning all around, and obviously rain is one thing, but when you're dealing with lightning storms, you're talking about, seriously public safety. And he came out the next night and like profusely apologized to everybody. Like, I know you guys were standing in the rain, I'll make it up. But that's the risk, that's unfortunately the risk you take in doing outdoor shows. So, But man, that's great. Yeah, what an amazing week. 2 shows at Red Rock, then Montreal, and um,
Yeah, we
man,
lucked out on the weather across all of them because Lollapalooza, I think the following day was rained out and mud
wow.
across everything, and then the following at, Osheaga, it was kind of, like, lightly sprinkling,
Yeah.
which was kinda sexy, but, then then it was,
Good.
like, pouring rain, I think, the following days. It was so we, like,
Yeah.
got out right when the getting was good.
Man, man. Now you guys played Coachella earlier this year too, right? Am
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
okay. Was that a mud fest or how was that?
Oh, no. That was incredible, life-changing show for me. I think that was, um that'll be the memory. That's the show that when I got back to my hotel room, I cried after. I was like, "This was
Nice.
insane." Yeah, that was I did it, mom."
Dude, that yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, that is that you get me all choked up too, because that I feel the same way when, when you reach a milestone in your career and you just think back, it's like, I wonder what mom and dad think about me right now, what they're saying about me. So that's
Yeah.
so cool. That is so cool. Can we talk a little bit about your early days, your upbringing? So, um, first off, are you originally from LA? Where are you originally from?
Um, Full story, I was born in Seattle, but,
Okay.
when I was, like, 4 or 5, we moved to Silicon Valley, and, um, my I s my family had always been musical. My mom, played piano, and then her brother and sister were also they all played in choir together. They were all really involved in their, churches, and I think all 3 of them, at some point in their lives, they were all choir directors,
Oh, wow.
which is weird because their parents were not musical at all. Um, but so there was always music around. I had been through, different child's choirs coming up,
Yep.
and then one year it was, I wanna start playing guitar. I think I was 7 and changing the chords, like, too many things to do at once with too many
Yep.
fingers. My dad ended up picking up bass, a little bit later, and I was like, "That looks like guitar, but, like, just a little bit easier to comprehend and handle."
Sure.
And,
Sure.
then I picked it up, and I think by the time I was, 15 or 16, I had already surpassed him and his abilities, and
Yeah.
he put it down, and I just, like, kept riding the wave up,
Okay.
um, and ended up getting a scholarship to a school down in Orange County that, like, it wasn't a music school, and I just had this fear of not getting into colleges for music because I wasn't classically trained.
Yeah.
I was reading chord charts and I knew
Yep.
like a 158 like shape,
Sure. Sure.
um, and I knew what a major scale looked like on the fretboard, but I
Okay.
didn't really have much knowledge of music theory or how to sight read a staff,
Okay.
and so I faked my way through the audition for the scholarship, and the teacher, was like, "You're basically right on with what was put in front of you," because it was, I think he put red clay in front of me, which is a
Oh,
158 just
yep.
across chords. Um, but so once I got that, I was like, Maybe I can do this. Maybe
Sure.
give this a shot." Um, and then I applied to a music school in Pasadena, and, yeah, the rest is kinda history.
Man. Now,
But
I was gonna say the music school in Pasadena, was that Llama, LA Academy of Music?
yeah, yeah.
I
I
think it was
went
Llama at
there
the time.
2012 to 2000, like, 14 or something.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I graduated right when they got, their accreditation,
Yep.
which was
Yep.
kinda nice because then it's like it's not just like a arts degree, it's like an official.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Whatever. Not that
I
that matters in music, but
I mean, it's I remember llama because I at the time, I was teaching at Musicians Institute in Hollywood, so we were kinda competitors at the time, but,
yeah, totally.
um, you know, and a lot of teachers kinda cross between llama and MI, which llama was before llama, I wanna say it was the, oh, I can't remember the name of the school. It was a gentleman's name that started the school. Anyways, um, but yeah, man, you know, it's cool that, you know, when you audition for anything, you know, whether I know the saying, you know, "Fake it till you make it," sort of thing kinda comes into mind,
Yeah.
but it's not you know, you have to s s no matter who you're auditioning for or who you're playing for, at some point, they gotta see the talent behind the you know, whether you know 158 or whether you know that they
Yeah.
they have to recognize the talent behind that, and it's just like, "Listen, man, this just got me in the door. I wanna show you what I can really do," sorta
Yeah.
thing. You know?
My fingers were moving at the right speed and, like, the right placement of everything. It
Right,
just
right.
I didn't know what the dots meant, and
Yep.
so, like, if someone could just teach me that, then I can start doing all the other things that you wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just a
someone had
matter
to take a risk and be like, "I could see it."
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Now, were you playing did you play in, like, local bands? Do you have a local, you know, obviously garage band or any kinda club band that you were working with at that time as well?
I mean, through high school and college, it was mostly playing at churches. I and I think I started doing that when I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
And then there was, like, a Sunday service, and then there was a, like, Wednesday or Tuesday service, and so you would just go and play, I don't know, maybe 10 songs each time, and
Yeah.
as once I got into college, I looked back on that time, and I realized that kids my age that weren't unless they had, like, a band that was actually playing regularly, um, at bars and clubs, that's kind of a rare experience to have of just, like, you have, like, a thing like a performance due
Yeah,
twice a week
yeah,
from 7th grade all the way through, college. It
yeah,
was kinda realized I've actually been playing out a lot more than a lot of my peers, and I didn't really consider it playing out, you know?
yeah. And in a lot of ways, that was your musical education too, you
Yeah,
know?
totally. 'Cause I mean, there were guys at the church who were rippers, and they would be, like, in with the adult service, and I'd be at the youth service, but they would it was this drummer, his name's, Clay Bandy, and he was the first guy to introduce me to polyrhythms. I
Okay.
was I think I was, like, a sophomore or a junior, and he just said, "Play like a something or other." I just, a little 4-bar groove,
Yep.
and he was like, "Alright, just ignore what I'm doing and keep playing that exactly the way you are." And he slowly started adding in, like he would go from, let's say it was like a 4/4 feel, he would start playing 3/4,
Yep.
then he would go, like, quarter note triplets, then he would, like, take it further and further out, and I'm just holding on for dear life, like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this guy doing?" And
Trying to keep steady on the groove.
yeah, it's like riding a mechanical bull or something, like, he
Yeah.
was trying to throw me, but then keep me on and then throw me, and then it was really fun, but that was, one of my first experiences of, like, being invested in by, like, another musician further along than me,
Yep.
and
Yep.
yeah, there was a lot of, cool experiences in that
Yeah.
realm,
Man,
but
that's it's always you know, and we all go through this, like, I tell everybody this, even, you know, when I was teaching too, it's like, try and find that player that's just a little bit better than you. And
oh, yeah.
and in anything, whether you're playing tennis, whether you're skiing, always try and like find somebody that maybe not necessarily do it better, but you look up to and go, man, I feel like this person does this better than I can,
Mhm.
and you'll always step up
Oh, yeah.
versus, and I'm not saying don't ever play with anybody below you either, because that they're looking for that
No, because then
experience
that's how
too.
you do it for them, you know?
Exactly, exactly, but, I mean,
Um,
I've walked into open jam sessions, like open jazz jam sessions where, you get players that are, light years ahead, and you're
mhm.
just, you're and you feel the stares burning into you like, "What are you doing on this stage, son? You shouldn't be here." And you just kinda, like, you feel demeaned, but there's always that one player that will feel you and go, "Dude, come here. Let me give you a couple of pointers," and you step up to that person, you know?
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
experience.
It's like when you're not the greatest guy on the team, but they pass you the ball anyway. It's just
Yeah.
that's how you
Ex
get better. Yeah,
yeah,
you start
e
reading the room a little bit better. I mean, I
exactly.
remember, um, I used to play with this guy, Corey Harper. He's like an acoustic songwriter type.
Yep,
Really talented guy. And the band at the time was me on bass, this guy Marshall Vore on drums, and then this other guy, Dylan Day, on guitar.
okay.
Dylan Day has now, like, he's eclipsed us in his music. I mean, he was always eclipsing us in his musical talent, but he, like, moved to LA with a guitar that someone loaned him. He didn't have an amp or anything,
Imagine.
and he started hosting these jam nights and he was a slide guitar player, really
Okay.
talented. Blake Mills started showing up being like, "Who's this kid who's doing the Blake Mills thing better than me?" And Blake Mills
No kidding.
kind of, like, passed him a crown and was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
you've got this, you're crazy." But,
Wow.
playing in that band was insane because Marshall's feel, I mean, he'd played with Ryan Adams for a little bit, he had
Okay.
played with, Phoebe Bridgers.
Yep.
um His feel is just some of the best feeling, like, hi-hat movements I've ever played with, and then partner that with Dylan and Corey's songwriting. I felt like the smallest person in that band, but just supported by monsters made me a better player overall.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, those are some fun shows.
That's awesome. And you like you say, it just makes you wanna work harder
Yeah.
and be better, and get better and work harder, and it's just this vicious cycle that you fall into, and it's a good cycle, actually. Um, so what after, obviously living in Silicon Valley and w did you move down to LA to pursue a career, or what did something catch you while you were still living in Silicon Valley that drew you down to LA? How did that work out?
Well, that first school that I got the scholarship to was
Oh,
in Orange County,
that's
and
right.
then once I got there and I met some people, and there were a handful of people that graduated from that school that went on to become session guys.
Okay,
Um, I haven't met him yet, but one of them is this guy, Brooke Alexander. He's a drummer.
okay.
I think he's out with Benson Boone right now, but, he was someone that graduated from that circus anyway and
Yeah,
made it. And so I was like, "This is actually possible." I didn't realize people were still doing this, and it was like, "How do you get plugged in? Blah, blah, blah."
yeah,
And once I switched from that school in, Costa Mesa to the one in Pasadena, then you started seeing more of the people who graduated being like, "Yeah, now I'm playing with this guy, I'm over
yeah,
here with this person," and you can kinda start connecting the dots. Um, One of the big guys who helped me get my start, was this guy, Barry Squire,
okay.
which unfortunately he
Oh,
recently passed away,
yeah,
RIP.
yep,
Um, but he was a big name in Los Angeles for a long
yeah.
time. I know a
Barry
lot
was
of people got
responsible
their
for getting
start
a
from him.
lot of people gigs, and yeah, I know Barry.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew Barry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was throwing mock auditions at schools, which I'm now realizing this is his like recruitment process to get on his
sure.
list for whoever called and how to there's fresh talent over here. Let's get him
Yeah,
on some young like 18-year-old artist and send him out on the road,
yeah.
which is exactly what he did with me. And
Eh,
then that first gig I got, I never actually played any shows with that artist. It never
Oh
left the
no, who was
rehearsal
that?
space, yeah. I I'm not
Eh,
gonna say the name because it
That's
doesn't
fine.
really
No,
matter,
no, that's cool.
but,
That's totally fine.
some of the other people in the room were really good, and they were like, "Well, I'm gonna start putting your name in for things," and suddenly I was playing for, I had my first ever fly date with this guy, Andrew Watt, and
Okay.
I was incredibly nervous, played probably the worst show I've ever played with him, which was extremely embarrassing, did not get a call back, and then I took that as fuel to be like,
There you
"That's
go.
never happening to me again."
There you
Like,
go. Yeah.
now I'm getting gigs and I'm not gonna be nervous, I'm gonna stick through. Um, and then the next call I got after that was for Sabrina Carpenter, but that
Wow.
was I mean, she was 15, it was her first record
Yep.
that
Yep.
she had put out, I think it was on Hollywood Records, um, and that was, yeah, the vibe on Sabrina Carpenter then versus now is completely different,
Yeah. Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
it was fun, and it was a professional gig, some of my first rehearsals at SIR,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
It's a real
Man.
deal.
And it just like you say, it progresses. Like a lot of people, people come into the industry and say, well, in your case, how'd you get the gig with Sombr? Or how'd you get the gig with Sabrina Carpenter? Or how'd you get the gig with this and it's like, well, it's not like I just showed up on the scene and was given this audition and instantly got the gig. Like it doesn't work that
Yeah,
way. It's a progression of, you know, s- and it's just a progression of learning how to audition for people, learning how to play on auditions, and then being recommended for bigger and bigger gig and maybe not even bigger and bigger gigs. Like you said, when you were playing with Sabrina Carpenter, she probably wasn't the Sabrina Carpenter that everybody knows today because she was just starting off back then, you know?
yeah, I mean, the rooms were still pretty like, sizable in comparison of, like, the rooms I've played in my career, those are still, like,
Sure.
large rooms, but it was state fairs, um, and maybe, like, a 5,000 cap room or something,
Mhm.
but, um, really big, but, like, a totally different thing, and then you leave that, and you go to another Barry Squire audition, trying to find more work, and then you're back in, like, a 200 cap room in a van, but the music's fun and, you know,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, and you just keep meeting people, and your network is expanding, and the more people see you out and playing, the more you gain, like, public trust, I would say, in
Yeah.
artists and in musical directors that are
Yeah.
hiring you. So, I I think the thing that might have prepared me for the Sombr gig was I I was hired by an artist, Towa Bird, in 2023, and we were first of 3 opening for Renee Rapp, but the
Okay.
rooms got to be about they're anywhere from 2,000 cap rooms to, like, a 10,000 cap room,
Okay.
and so they see that I can handle playing in front of that many people.
Yeah.
The following year, Towa Bird then opens for Billie Eilish, which that was one of the most nervous the first Billie Eilish run, that was the most nervous I'd ever been for a show.
Wow.
Hands, like, shaking, and it was my first arena, But then you get that under your belt and people are like, oh, he can handle
Yeah.
20,000 people.
Yeah.
This guy's fine.
Yeah.
Let's stick him out there, put him on the road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a level of like expanding your network and then proving that you can take the pressure of whatever
Yeah.
gig they stick you on, you know?
Yeah. And that, it's funny you say that because that's actually a great point that a lot of players don't understand too. Like we all know and we all think we can stand in front of 50,000 people and play. And probably 90%, 95 of maybe all of us can stand, that have been doing this for a long time can stand in front of that many people and play. But, you got to take in the fact you're on a stage that's half the size of a football field now. You're not just going to stand in your one mic spot like you do in Joe's Sports Bar when you're playing in front of, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you
before,
can't just be staring at your fretboard like,
yeah, before
"Oh."
production's going to invest in taking you on the road, they want to know, obviously, if you've come this far, you can play the part. There's no question about it. You've got the talent to play, but can you perform? Can you hang?
Mhm.
Can you sit on a tour bus for 20 hours and not piss everybody else off on the tour bus?
Yeah.
Like that all comes into play and it just doesn't happen overnight. Like you have to prove to certain people along the way that I can do this. I'm a cool guy to hang with. I can entertain people. I can cover my side of the stage so people on stage right don't feel like they're being ignored by me, or
Mhm.
so yeah, there's all those variables. Um let me go here because somebody we have some questions, some pre-questions that people had typed in. And one of the questions from AUBS, OBS, I think it is, do you get nervous before shows? And I mean, do you still get nervous before shows, depending on the show, or
I do. I do, yeah. I get nervous, I the last time I got really so I guess there's, like, stages. Each time you hit a check mark on the list, I think is another, like, I get nervous. So, Coachella, I was incredibly nervous for Coachella because it was
Mhm.
not only it was gonna be I mean, I thought it was gonna be maybe 30,000 people, and then it ended up being, like, 75,000 people.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and then everyone streaming on the internet as well, so
Yeah.
that just multiplies that number so many times, and it's being captured, so if you screw up, it's, like, on the internet forever.
Right. Right.
I was extremely nervous for that,
Talk about getting in
and
your own
weekend
head.
1
Just thinking about that. Oh my god. Like
yeah,
you're just getting in your own head when you start thinking
it
about that stuff.
well, and yeah, and then on top of it, I'm backstage pacing around, like, trying to just, like, calm down, like, "It's
Yeah.
gonna be fine, it's the same set you played at the rehearsal, just play that."
Yeah.
And as you're doing it, you look over in the corner and you see the guest that's about to come out with us, Billy Corrigan, just back there. You're like, "Oh, man, this is insane. What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Um,
Nah.
so that one I was super nervous for, and yeah, I think the best for me was to just I have a song that I listen to, especially when I first got on with Sabrina Carpenter and I was still kind of feeling the hurt of getting fired off that other gig,
Yeah.
I had to put in a song and kinda, like, zone out/lock slash lock in,
Yeah.
and I would put on Spoon's, I think it's Inside Out is the name of the song.
Okay.
For some reason, that song just zens me out. It's also my favorite, bass tone,
Okay.
weirdly, but, sometimes I'll put that one on, and I think I hadn't done it in years, and when Coachella happened, I'm pretty sure I popped in Inside Out for a second, was like, "We're
Nice.
just gonna revert to the basics here,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I'll have to check that
this
out.
that song worked for 10 years for me, so might as well just go back to
Yeah,
it.
man. Nice. You just answered Allie's question here. What do you do before a show to get ready to play in front of such a huge crowd? So that, but
Yeah, if I'm nervous, that song is a huge hit for me. Um, and then since if it's like a high octane show, which most of the guys that I play with are pretty high octane,
Mhm.
um, I'm usually doing like jumping jacks or high knees like in place or just
Yeah.
jumping up and down. I heard that from Juan Alderete.
One already.
Al,
Yeah.
Al, Juan Alderete.
Yeah.
He came and did a talk and he was like, look, if you're getting on stage and you're going to be running around and doing the thing, you don't want to come from a place of like your body's resting. You want to get your heart rate up so that way when you're on stage, you're already blood's
Yeah.
already flowing. You're already good to go.
Yeah.
So I remember my first Warp Tour was I have to jump up and down repeatedly backstage and like be ready to start my own mosh pit on stage, so that way they make one in the crowd. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
It
yeah,
is a physical sport, I mean, like you said, that is part of being on a big stage is you gotta be in it, and you have to be I find like you have to be more animated than you think you need to be because
oh
what you
yeah,
do, what may seem huge to you on stage looks small. And I'm not just talking like big stage, even small stages. I don't care if you're playing Joe's Sports Bar or you're playing Wembley Stadium. What you're doing on stage may seem big to you, but it's gonna translate as being small. Like you gotta almost over animate.
oh
Um,
yeah.
you know. So that's a great point, man. Do a little bit of calisthenics and jumping jacks and
Do more than you feel like you need to.
yeah. Yep,
I'm
definitely.
so sorry. I need to find a laptop charger really quick. I did not.
Yeah, no,
Oh, here
no.
we go. Got one.
There
Perfect.
you go.
Um, but yeah, that oh, shit, is this not working either?
Paul.
Being nervous is certainly paying off for me.
That's
Thank
that's
you.
our that's our buddy Paul in the UK.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I hope it has been.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some other questions here too that while you're looking for your charger there. Sophia, what has been your favorite show to play so far? And again, I think you answered that one. I'm gonna guess Coachella.
Yeah, yeah, Coachella was pretty undeniably I mean, that's that was such a large jump from my biggest show in the past. Um, because I think at the time, my biggest show before that had probably been opening for Billie Eilish,
Okay.
um, in probably Atlanta. I think that's a 20,000 cap room, but
Okay.
even that those shows were kinda strange because when you start the show, the room is like a third of the way full, and so
Yep.
you're really nervous, and you get up there and you're like, "Oh, actually, this isn't too bad." You look around, you're like, "There's not, like, that many people here. I thought it was gonna be like a wall of humans." You're
Right.
like, "There's actually, like, a lot of scattered empty seats," and then you finish the set and you look up and you're like, "Oh, it's a wall of humans. This thing is packed to the brim." So it kinda was a nice way to ease into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
yeah, Coachella was the first one where you start and you're like, "Oh my god, this is insane.
Yeah.
So many people." And then I've never been on stage. I've only ever had a GA pass. I've never had VIP experience or anything. You're standing up there, you look down weekend 1, it's just a crowd of famous people just right
N
there. You're like,
no kidding,
"What
huh?
are you doing here? Okay."
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
it's
how
so scary,
how
and then you
long
get off stage and your texts are like, "Do you know who is side stage?"
Yeah.
"No, don't tell
How
me. I don't
how
wanna
long
know."
how long was your set at Coachella?
Um, God, it must have been either 50 or 55 minutes, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And you never wanted it to end. That's
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
did it feel like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, you know?
Um, it probably felt like 35
Yeah.
because I always like now I'm at a point where I think of sets as like individual chunks.
Okay.
Um, and most sets are kind of either 3 or 4 chunks. So the opening chunk is like you have to have like show intro and then
Yeah.
one of the really big songs and then a slept on really good song, but real fans are like, "Yes," and people who
Yeah.
don't really know the music are like, "Oh, this is cool." And then the rest of that is kinda could be whatever, but yeah, and then you have, like, probably 4 or 5 songs, then a talking break,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
4 or 5 songs, talking break, 4 or 5 songs, talking break, and then 2 really big ones, or 3 really big ones, or, like, back to back, I don't know, it kinda depends on the set, but,
Yeah.
it's been that set was, like, so fun, and yeah, playing I mean, Back to Friends is one of my favorite songs,
Okay.
um, that's come out in recent years, and getting to play that at Coachella was insane,
Yeah.
and leaving and for the following 2 months afterwards, just be scrolling on social media and see a
It's
complete stranger. It's them and their friends just, "How do we go back around?"
That's
And,
awesome.
yeah, that's me up there. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It's just
That is
nonstop.
it's awesome though. Man, I mean, yeah, that's did you ever think, did you ever think you'd be doing this? That's the thing, you know?
Um, I mean,
Oh,
I was hoping to eventually play Coachella at one of the smaller stages
yeah.
at like, in the middle of the day, but
Yeah.
I'll take, like, the close to main stage at
Yeah.
sunset. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
right?
so crazy.
Man.
I'm so grateful to be, yeah, to be where I am right now.
And now I know, obviously you've got more dates coming up with Sombr, but and that's gonna keep you busy throughout the year, but you branched into doing some producing as well.
Mhm.
If I so like and I've asked this before too of some of our other guests. What do you think what do you why do you think bass players make good producers? Because it seems like there's a long list of really good producers that are bass players. I mean, there's great producers that aren't bass players too, but just
Mhm.
seems like bassists seem to make good producers. Why is that, do you think?
I think it's something about being told maybe for a long time not to overplay. 'Cause that's the
Okay.
one thing I think a lot of bass players won't get hired is because they'll overplay.
Yeah.
Um, so understanding the marriage of what is appropriate to do, what is appropriate to do when, like, musically,
Yeah.
um, and when and understanding the marriage of, like, the rhythm, basically having to be the glue between drums and guitar and top line and all that.
Sure, sure.
Um, I I'm not, like, the greatest producer in the world, but I really enjoy producing when I can. Um, I I have a lot of friends who are incredible producers that are bass players, and their knowledge of I think it might be something of, like, the way that they obsessed over, like, that D'Angelo record and Pino's
Yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
and the way that that understanding of Pino's feel, if you really understand and grasp that, it changes how you look at feel entirely over, like, spans of other records.
Sure.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of really good bass players that are producers and a lot of good bass players that are MDs as well. It's
Yeah.
pretty, It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just seems like, yeah, it seems like that's kinda, you look at like Don Was, who's a great bass player and an amazing producer, obviously.
Yeah.
And actually, Dom, Dom, our co-host who's out on leave right now is an amazing producer. I mean, I've heard some of the stuff that he produces. It's just like, how do you hear that stuff? And it just,
Hmm.
but he's also an amazing bassist as well. So yeah, I was just curious because it seems like that, and I think it kind of it comes down to too. I remember there was an interview with Neil Steubenhaus. Neil from Neil's just he's an LA giant as far as studio
Hmm.
work. For those of you that aren't familiar with who Neil is, and it was an old Bass Player magazine interview asking about you know studio work and this and that. And the one thing that Neil had brought up, he says, "Man," he says, "I get called for a lot of gigs because I've been doing this for so long." He says, "But new up and comers that are new to the LA studio scene, build your own studio, create your own work. Don't wait for the
Yeah.
phone. Don't wait for the phone to ring for people to hire you. You create those opportunities, and that's being one of them. Is building a studio, getting into producing. Of course, you have. It's one of those things too where you have to build a reputation as a producer for people to trust you and trust you in with their projects. But yeah, I was just kind of
Absolutely.
always curious about that.
Well, and I think something too about building your own studio is I I like it when artists have limitations on like what gear they have, and it forces them to pave their own way.
Yeah,
I mean, recently you look at the McGee stuff, he like really changed how a lot of these producers and guitar players think.
sure.
And I think it's because he was limited by the things he had. You look back at those records in the 70s and the 60s, like they made really cool choices because of the limitations that they were trying to overcome within their own gear
Yeah,
selection stuff.
yeah, very true. That is amazingly true. You can't. Nowadays you just go to somebody's web. If you don't have the gear, you can find the plugin for it somewhere. That's
Yeah,
that sort of thing. But
which introduces me to my other soapbox of
uh-oh.
I shouldn't be saying this.
No, come on.
Um I I'm I'm so thankful for everyone that has made the the amp modelers and the pedal boards with the multi effects racks. I love that I can buy one thing and it has everything in it. I miss the days of showing up to a rehearsal with a new group and looking over at everyone's pedal board and seeing what different things that they had and how they were using all these weird
Yeah,
toys, and
yeah,
it was so fun. But
yeah,
and now everyone kind of you show up and it's like, "Oh, yeah, me too. I have that too." Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh,
But I think
sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah.
no,
But
and like you said, there's pros and cons to both sides of that. I'm of the same school. I mean, I do use, obviously our parent or not our parent, our sister company being Line 6 makes an amazing product called the Helix.
oh, yeah.
And I use the little Helix on my pedal board for chorus and delays and stuff like that. It's awesome. But
I've got a
I also
stomp myself.
see,
Yeah.
and there's uses for everything, but I also dig the fact that I have certain chorus pedals and I have a synth pedal that nobody can ever replicate that is
Mhm.
just like that
It's
pedal
a
goes on my
thumbprint.
pedal board everywhere I go because people wanna hear that synth sound, and you can't get it anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of gear, so you kinda I know you were using Ampeg prior to meeting myself and knowing the affiliation with Ampeg and Gil, but you originally got hooked up with Caleb from Gil
Mm. Mhm.
first, who then introduced you to me or to Ampeg, knowing that, oh, Ampeg is another sister company. So you're you're using Guild Starfires on this tour, or are you using?
Yeah, I am. I have a oh, here we go. I have a Guild Starfire 2 that I've been using with Sombr. It is currently strung up BEAD. It
Oh wow,
is a fake 5-string.
Nashville 5.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I kind of I got put onto it because my guitar tech, Jesse, he had built a custom bass. It has like a Fender jazz body and I think a jazz neck with 2 of the Guild Bisonics in it.
Okay.
And that was being used, or he had used it in the past as a BEAD bass. And he was talking about wanting to get another pickup from Guild to do another build. And I had already been connected with Caleb for this guy right here, the Starfire 1.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, I could probably get something if I ask nicely. We'll see if what Caleb says.
Or not. You don't
And
have to ask nicely.
yeah, and Caleb was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
How and when would you like it? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. But yeah, that came out great. I really like the sound I'm getting out of it. It doesn't sound like a short scale the way that I have my EQs set up for it.
Right. Right.
It sounds like its own thing. But it's really cool. And I think it kind of took me a second to get used to playing like harder rock, like because it's BEAD,
Yeah.
playing harder rock on a hollow body as a
Yeah.
bass player. I'm not really used to that. And
Yeah.
I honestly kind of think it was a strap thing for me. I had to drop it down lower than I would usually prefer. And I'm playing with a pick. Well, for most of them now, I'm
I was just
not
going to
on one
ask.
song, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love that thing now. It's one of my favorites. It's so
That's
cool.
cool.
Something about the hollow body is so cool. Something that really bums me out about the hollow body is the cases are never big enough.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Yep.
it's been really cool. I love it. And
That's
then
cool.
I love this thing. This thing's awesome.
The Starfire 1
It's
is that is a
it's
sleeper.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a P bass with a little bit more low end.
Yeah.
I use this with another artist I play with, Chezile, and he has a
Okay.
very like it's like soul kind of R&B, kind of indie. I could just get away with playing my P bass, but I thought this would look cooler, and then it sounds like deeper, and
Sure.
it's great. I love this thing.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely a sleeper. It's definitely a sleeper bass. And so so knowing that you've got it strung BEAD, you don't play 5 string at all. If you need that low B, you just switch to the call it a Nashville 5, but you
Yeah,
just
the
switch to
Nashville
that.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've really I used to play 5-string when I was in school, and it was a lot more like fusion-y jazz stuff, and
Mhm.
I am interested in probably finding another 5-string eventually, but for a lot of these, like, more classic visually, a classic rock gig,
Yeah. Yep.
they you bring something with 5 strings, and it just kinda it throws off the visual of it a little bit, so I
Yep.
find just playing a 4-string strung that way is visually more appealing, and what what the people want to look at, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
But, if I was ever to get a 5-string, I'm I'm crossing my fingers that one day Gail Ann Dorsey gets a signature model and I can get that. That's probably what I would want. But
A signature model Music Man or a signature model? Because I know she bounces between music. She's primarily a Music Man player, but I know she also plays Michael Tobias stuff too. So
yeah, I would probably lean towards the Music Man.
yeah,
If I was going MTD, I would go all the way fusion jazz and try and get like a Andrew Goucher, I think his name
Boucher.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Have you
then that
met
turns
Gail?
into like a six string. I have not yet, no. I would
She
be
so
honored.
she's been a guest on here, and she's such a sweetheart. I mean,
She's
she's
such an inspiration. She's
oh
so
my
cool. Yeah.
talk. I had my wife and I had dinner with her one night. We were out in Kingston visiting Michael Tobias, who's another dear friend of ours. But
Mhm.
I just by some chance I called Gail and said, "Hey, we're going to be in Kingston," and just her, myself, and my wife having dinner, and it's almost like, well, it's not like it, just such a spiritual person talking about music. We just had an amazing conversation over dinner, which just all the elements. But at some point, maybe I'll do an email introduction, or she's just a very lovely person to chat with, and she's always very helpful. So if I can do an introduction there, I'd be happy to do it.
I'd
Yeah,
be honored. Her
yeah,
work on those later Bowie records is so cool and I think so slept on. Like, or maybe
yeah,
not slept on, but I love introducing people to some of those records that they
yeah,
just, "Oh, I never actually did the whole '90s Bowie thing." And I was like, "Well, you
yeah,
missed out."
yeah. You
So,
missed out. Exactly. Exactly. She tells the story of the first time she had to sing Pressure with Bowie live, and how it was just kind, I won't
mm,
spoil the story, but it was just kinda, it was dumped on her, like, with not much time to prepare, and like, you listen to those recordings of her singing Pressure with Bowie, and it just brings tears, like, I get chills, and I get goosebumps just thinking about it, so,
yeah.
anyways, um, and then, of course, for this, so I would probably be fired if I didn't mention Ampeg at some point in SVT time, but, um, so
Yeah.
for this tour, SVTs and 410 cabs, right? Or is
Yes,
it,
for everything that I believe is coming up, I believe that's what we're doing.
yeah,
There I
and you're
mean,
also you
we had a 810, we came off the European run, in February, and that was a 410 with the VR head,
yep,
or no, the VR doesn't have all 4 inputs, does it? Or no, it
yeah.
does.
Well, it's
Yeah, it
probably
does.
it was probably it was might have been the Heritage 50th, and the VR was the precursor to the Heritage 50th, so it could have been either one,
That's it.
actually. Yeah.
Okay. I believe it was a VR, and then we for Coachella, we upgraded to the 810 because I had a
Mhm.
bigger riser, and they were like, "Let's push some more air."
There you go.
And then for one extremely glorious show in Napa Valley, I was upgraded to 16 cones. We added an additional 810
Yes.
for everyone
Yeah.
sipping on their wine up in Napa, hauling
While
some
their wine
air.
glasses are vibrating
Yeah,
across.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, that was really fun. I think, also our guitar player, I think he had 16 cones on his side as well,
Wow.
from Marshall, so we were just pushing. It was
Crazy.
great.
That's awesome.
Um, that's when you're really scared of the volume knob. I don't think I've ever gotten my gain and volume knob over, like, the 3rd notch or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like they just sit right
Yeah. Yep.
um, but, yeah, and I think moving forward, it's probably 410s, sometimes it might be an it kinda I just show up and I plug in and I'm just happy to be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
whispers of a 810 sideways, kind of like how the Cure does it, but
Yep.
I haven't seen that yet outside of whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't
I know
know. We'll
I know
see.
Jesse usually communicates to me when, depending on what they're setting up for you, like he'll say, "Hey, can we do this? Can we do that?" So I've been in communication with him as well. But a sideways 410 is essentially two 410s just put side by side, so
Yeah.
and of course, I know we had talked about this prior to going live, but you do have set designers that have, they're paid to design a set and the gear has to fit into that set somehow. And we get it. It is show business. So,
Yeah.
you want to have
Well,
something appealing.
when we got the setup for these festivals coming up, it wasn't wide enough at some of these stages for me and the guitar player to be on the riser in the middle. So we could drop down. And when we
Okay.
do that, like the amp has to go back on the riser. So an 810 would like block our drummer in. So we shrunk it down to the
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Yeah.
mean, still does the job. I can turn the volume knobs up a little bit more and
And
push
the
a little
gear is
more.
on stage. That's the other thing too.
It's on stage and it's on, which
Yeah.
is more than I can say for a lot of the gigs
Yeah.
that I've
Yep.
been doing recently is no amps, use your
Yeah.
ears, maybe get one of those vibrating
Yep.
platforms to stand on.
Yep.
But
Yeah. No, it's
this is
that's
it's a real rock and roll show. We got amps.
that
They're
is
live.
so cool. That is so cool, and it is, and like you say, when again on that level, you have a stage designer that says this is where the gear needs to be placed. This is where the risers need to be placed. It's again, you're not just you're not just showing up to a gig and going, oh, do I set my amp up here? No, there is a specific layout how they want it
Mhm.
set up, and that all contributes to the final show, the
Yeah,
people
a lot of
they
thought goes into every single little detail. I mean,
absolutely,
even
absolutely.
from like camera angles and shots that are being put on the screens behind us, it's
Yeah, yeah,
everything is out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, we're almost at the top of the hour here.
Oh yeah.
So it's amazing how quick an hour goes by when
It
you're
just
just
flew by.
shooting the shit about gear and gigs and playing and life. But I do have, and I purposely leave this out of the pre-screened questions that I send because this is what we call a rapid fire. So I
Okay.
go through the list. You don't have much time to think about it. You got to give me your first response, and it's all pretty straightforward. Goes from gear to some not controversial stuff, but I'll start with so it's kind of up to 16 questions, but I'm going to narrow it down because some of the questions kind of get a little too silly. But first question being, Ian, P bass or jazz bass?
P bass.
Okay. See it, and that's how we do this.
I wanna
Uh,
I wanna figure out a jazz bass for me, but currently it's just P bass.
just P bass. I'm a P bass guy myself. Passive or active?
Passive for everything that I do. Active is fun for some things.
See, you're
I had
elaborating.
it active in when I was
Yeah.
in school and playing more like jazz and fusion-y stuff, and there's a way to make those things sing and sound really nice, but I fell in love with the passive tone
Yeah.
so that's just what I'm in right now.
Yep. I hear you. Round wounds or flats?
I am currently, I'm all flats across everything. Even my BEAD bass is flat.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think I have a bass with rounds on it.
Interesting. Is there a string company you want to plug there, or is it just kind of whatever works?
I would be remiss if I didn't give out my boy Rob a shout out over at Ernie Ball. Thank you
Okay.
for everything. They made flat wounds, I think on the Warp tour I did in 2015 or something. It was our first year having flats, and he was like, "You'll love these." And I said, "Do they come in short scale?" And he said, "No." And then 6 months later, short scale.
There
And
you go.
then And now I'm on the Pinot Palladino flats.
Oh, cool.
Those are the ones. They're
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. B15 or SVT? Again, this is your desert island amp.
Yeah. Fuck. I guess SVT.
Okay.
B15s are great. I need something that with a little bit more growl.
Yep.
But I love a B15. I love a B15.
Just there's the beauty of this, there's never a wrong answer. It's always this or that sort of thing.
These are just my paintbrush colors.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cable or wireless?
Cable. Cable,
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pick or fingers?
Ooh. Fuck.
And again, there's no wrong answer.
I know. I feel like fingers are the way, but I have been doing so much pick playing recently, and I love pick with flat wounds, palm muted.
Yeah.
That is some like unbeatable tone right there. But you have to play with fingers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. IEMs or floor wedges?
Oh, I like my IEMs.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I get a lot of clarity out of them. If I had a choice though, well, I mean, I do have a choice in this. I like being able to hear my amp.
It all
I
depends
think
on
I
who's
want
mixing your
IEMs.
IEMs too.
Yeah, I like the IEMs with the little. I haven't really tried them, but I want to get a pair of 1964s, and they have these little portholes where you can take out, and you
Yes.
can hear like people around you. Like if someone walks over and yells in your ear, you can hear it.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
getting to a place where I kind of want that now.
Yep. Yeah. They have
So,
the ambient ports that you can pull out.
yeah, I think I'm ready for an ambient port.
Okay. All right. Pedals or no pedals?
Nothing's wrong with the Sans amp. Use some
Okay.
pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, getting into the travel side of things, window or aisle?
I
This is where
like
they get kind of
window.
silly. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yep.
prefer window. Because I'm very good at just like sitting. I was a nervous flyer for a second, and if I can open the window and just see like, oh, we're going through another like air pressure thing, or it's a cloud or whatever, it
Yeah.
immediately puts me at ease, and I can shut it and be like, all right,
Okay.
that's what it
All
is.
right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
and you can lean against it.
High bunk or low bunk?
I go high bunk, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Something about low bunk, I don't like opening the thing and just seeing, like, feet, you know? Something about
Understood.
that.
Black with white piping or silver and blue? And this is talking about the Ampeg Cosmetics. Do you like the black and white look, or do you like the old fashioned silver and blue?
Oh, Jesse's gonna kill me. I really like the black and white piping. I think it's so classic. I remember, getting Bass Player magazine, like, once a month, and me and my dad would open it, and on I think the ad was always, like, the inside, like,
The inside
second page or
cover.
something, the whole
Yep.
thing, black and white piping,
Yep.
some dude going like this,
Yeah.
and just
You're
that's the
right.
thing. That's the sound. Everyone used it, didn't
Yeah.
matter who.
Yeah.
You can have,
Yeah.
like, your pick of, like, maybe I'm doing there was a moment there where people were using the B15 VR, and that they were sitting next to it, and that was
Yeah.
cool, but otherwise,
Yeah.
it's a 810, and they're striking some pose,
That's so
you
funny.
know?
I used to do
Yeah.
the same thing. I used to do the same exact thing. It was the inside cover, and some of those ads were called One Tough Customer. And it was usually like the one ad I remember was like Billy Sheehan and Michael Anthony leaning back to back, in front of an SV. But that was, I mean, back in the old days of print ads, and man.
Yeah.
Uh, anyways, let's see. Where are we? Hot chocolate or coffee?
Coffee.
Okay. Here's this is actually one of my favorite questions. Favorite place to eat on the road, and it can be either a specific restaurant or a cuisine in a certain town or whatever comes to mind. Like when you think, "Oh man, I'm going to be in Austin, I got to get barbecue," that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, barbecue in Texas is crazy. Um, weirdly, fusion food in Texas is really crazy.
Huh? Okay.
Um, there's a place in San Antonio that's, like, across from this venue, I think it's called Paper Tiger.
Okay.
Um, Texas barbecue with South Asian curries and, like, influence. It was
Wow.
like a pulled pork brisket inside of a green curry. It was so delicious and
Okay.
smoky and flavor notes just popping up at you. Um, so that or like food in Milan.
Yeah.
Um, and we did Italy earlier this year, and just everything that we touched was incredible.
Of course.
Um, yeah, yeah, a lot of really good food. New York also, there's throw a rock, hit something
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
That's I am a total foodie. So when I know I'm going to a certain place and that it's like, "Oh, wait a second, I'm gonna be, whatever. I'm gonna be in Seattle. There's a sushi place in Seattle that I always go to, or I'm gonna."
Mm,
Anyway,
yeah.
LA for me, ironically, is Paquito Mas. As silly as that is, it's like when I know I'm
Oh,
gonna be in LA, it's like, I gotta go to Paquito Mas.
yeah. I mean, I have my restaurant that I like to hit when I get home from something, El Compadre. I used to live in Echo Park,
Okay.
and El Compadre right there. It's just great, like, big, hearty Mexican food, rice, beans, the
Yep.
whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
El
I
Compadre,
try
El
to
Compadre.
skip In-N-Out when I can because I feel like on the road, the safe choice is always a burger,
Yeah.
and so when I
Yeah.
get home, I'm kinda like, already
If you
I
can
don't wanna
even
do
get
any more
into an
burgers.
In-N-Out in LA, that's every time I
Yeah.
drive by, it's like, I'm not gonna wait 40 minutes for a cheeseburger, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's an hour wait. You gotta walk in and get it to go and leave.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we got favorite place to eat, your go-to lick for sound check. What do you like to play when you're sound checking?
The first lick I ever learned on bass was, "Feel Good Inc." by the Gorillaz. That's always a
Okay,
go-to for me. Um, and then, the Guitar Hero lick, what's the na "Carry On My Wayward Son." I,
oh, okay, yeah,
yeah.
that works, that works.
Yeah, that sometimes it's Red Clay,
Okay,
um trying to think of some other ones. I think those are the big ones.
okay. Providing your
Yeah.
front of house gives you a s give g even asks for you to sound check, which
Yeah, they don't need me to anymore. I've got
I
a
would
guy that does it for me, but
I I
Topher,
was yeah, I
boy.
w I would Oh, man. Okay, cheesecake or carrot cake? They get
Oh,
si there's this one and one more, and they get sillier as they go.
I think
But
I'm cheesecake, but my girlfriend will kill me for that because she's carrot cake all the way.
okay, man,
It's
and
carrot cake by proxy.
carrot okay, just to be safe. Um,
Yeah.
last one is favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh,
See?
um,
Like you have time to watch cartoons on Saturday mornings.
yeah, I haven't
That
done that in a
that's
minute. On streaming, it could be anything. Um,
It's true.
I guess my favorite story is all the kids at school are watching, Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, "Well, I wanna watch it. What channel is it on? What time?" And I guess I was on a different cable provider, and they told me a channel. I tuned in. It was not Dragon Ball Z. It was Rocket Power, and that was one of my favorites growing up.
And that turned
So
into rock. There you go. Okay.
there you go.
Yeah, that works. See? By accident.
Yeah.
Oh man. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, dude. I'm actually just out of for my own curiosity, I'm gonna go back to question number 5. So are you using a cable even with Sombr, or are you kind of forced to be on a wireless because you're on such a big
No, we're
stage?
wireless, and I
Yeah.
love wireless. I do. But if I think a cable, like a coily cable, I think that really just adds a vibe, and I
Yeah.
remember watching videos of, Alison Mosshart from The Dead Weather and The Kills.
Yeah.
She doesn't play guitar that often, but when she does, her thing is that she stomps around in circles, and she lets the coily cable, like, tangle
Stop.
up on her, and it looks sick. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And there is something I have a couple friends that I play with where they're like, your pedals are supposed to not be on a board, they should be sprawled out in front of you all strange and, like, just cable and
Just
cable and
kinda haphazardly.
rock and roll, dude. It's
Yeah.
like, "That's what Kurt did, man." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, what?"
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, the cable, I love a good cable. My dad actually makes all my cables. Um,
Oh, right
Thanks,
on.
dad. We go
Yeah.
and buy a spool of Mogami and a couple Neutrik plugs, and we just solder them. He solders them
That
for me.
that's the best way to do it, man. It really is the
Yeah.
best way to do it, you know?
Well, they don't break. He
Yeah.
makes them, and then I will keep them. I think the last time he made me a handful was in 2022.
Yeah.
They all still work. The only thing
No
that
kidding.
happens is people pocket them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
No, that I know a lot of people that do that. They just and you can make your own patch cables, you can however and Mogami's a
yeah.
good cable too, so that's interesting. I always say I'm gonna do it, and I never do. So,
Yeah, it's
but
kinda
I am
like
gonna eventually.
yeah, it's like if you go grocery shopping at Costco and you get, like, all the giant pieces of meat, and then you have to
Yeah.
cut them up, and then you
Yep.
have to, like, put them in the bags and freeze them and organize. It's the same thing buying a spool of cable and then going home and having to sit there and
Yeah.
solder and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. But once you do it and you got them, you feel good
you're
about it. It's
set.
like yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, "Oh, man, I got a freezer full of meat. I've got a bag full of really good cables that I know how they were made," and the
And this
problem is
would
I
have cost me hundreds of dollars.
yeah,
Instead, it only cost me
yeah,
$100.
yeah, yeah. My problem is
Yeah.
I'm a shitty solderer. So, my
Yeah,
wife
that's
actually solders better than I do, so maybe I can recruit her into soldering.
there you go. Yeah, that's why I get my dad to do it for me because he loves it, and I'm just like, I'm not that good yet.
I don't have the patience. Anyways,
Yeah.
man, Ian, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and hanging out and hopefully you'll come back. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much with this. It was absolute pleasure having you on board and meeting you for the first time too. I know this is like the first kind of face to face that we have. Obviously through
Yeah.
emails and with Jesse and whatnot, we've communicated over the last year or so, but man, it's
Yeah.
just great to have you on, and hopefully we'll see you if you have time in January and you come to the NAMM show in Anaheim. Obviously, we'll be there. Um, but
Yeah, I would love
yeah, yeah. So just for everybody watching too, I know we didn't post it during the broadcast, but we'll get all of Ian's social media links linked into our video here somehow, so you can go follow him on Instagram and TikTok and all the fun social stuff. But and be sure to check out Sombr this coming. Oh, thank you, Aaron's posting them as we speak,
oh,
or
yeah, they're
it's either
coming in.
Aaron or Haji doing it. So, um, but yeah, be sure to check out Sombr, and we'll see everybody on the next. Uh, Next SVT time is I'll just call this up here real quick. It is September 1st with Gigi Zimmer. There's my Boston accent coming out. Gigi Zimmer, also known as Chica Bass. So I know if people can't figure out I'm from Boston by now, I'm sorry. What else can I say? But we'll see you guys in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And Ian, man, thank you again for hanging out, and we'll see everybody again for the next episode.
Thanks for having me, Dino.